This video is an IB film comparative study. I will be focusing on the genre of science fiction. The titles of the two films are Avatar by James Cameron and District 9 by Neil Blomkamp, and the focus will be how do directors depict the cultures of alien life in science fiction films and how do they differ from human culture. The simple definition for a science fiction film is in the name. The word fiction in science fiction relates to the fantastical worlds that the plots of the science fiction genre take place in, while the science portion comments on the inclusion of scientific theory in the films, such as alien species, artificial intelligence, time travel, or space travel. The setting of science fiction films normally is a futuristic Earth where progress of the human race can include new modes of transportation, communication, and other forms of technology. Other settings are caused by recent scientific discovery made by characters in the film, which often relate to a current controversial topic such as global warming or artificial intelligence. Addressing the topic allows the director to display his views through the events that occur throughout the film, often making the film's purpose a warning to the general public, asking them to think about the consequences of human advancement. These issues are seen through some sort of conflict throughout the film. Some movies' plots may seem too fantastical for viewers and over-exaggerated for a potential future for Earth. However, scientific progress has already reached some of the issues presented in the science fiction genre. The two films I have chosen to compare are Avatar and District 9. Covered with nature that would never appear on Earth's surface, Pandora, the setting of Avatar, brings fantastical elements to the film. The interesting new species that present themselves throughout the film resemble mythical creatures that normally can be found in the fantasy genre. Throughout the film, the humans use new technology for transportation and weaponry, make new discoveries such as the language of the natives, and research the biology of the planet, showing the scientific elements of the film. District 9 can be characterized as a science fiction film because of the appearance of the prawns, who bring fantasy to the film because of their shrimp humanoid appearance that cannot be seen in any living animal that exists on Earth. The disease that Wilkes receives from the alien fluid early in the film factors into the fantasy because of the unearthly effect of turning the character into a prawn. This genetic mutation becomes highly prized by the MNU scientific research team, who are also studying the advanced prawn weaponry. The entire plot of Avatar deals with the human race developing a master plan to extract a precious metal under the main residency of the native people. To obtain this resource, the company that is running the mining program hires military personnel to forcefully move the natives out of their home, massacring many in the process. A similar event happens in District 9 during the beginning of the film, when MNU, a weapons manufacturing company, conducts a project to move the aliens out of the slums into a different living area, far away from the public. Their main motive is to research alien weaponry found in the slums and sell the weapons. Both films' major conflicts stem from economic factors, mostly focused on the exploitation of the aliens' resources. The movies hint at the tendency of humans to exploit other lands for their own economic benefit. In the films, large companies tamper with cultures and environments without thinking of the consequences that the surrounding environment or native people will have to face. The company in Avatar destroyed the Na'vi's home to obtain the unobtainium, while MNU in District 9 forcefully moves the prawns to gain more knowledge about their weapons. Throughout history, Western cultures had colonized locations because of their economic benefit without thinking of the repercussions of their actions. Both movies relate to two different points in Earth's cultural history. The Na'vi of Avatar relate to the Native Americans, and the prawns relate to the Africans who lived in South Africa during the apartheid. Of Avatar directly relates to the American government from the 18th century and the 19th century, driving out the native population of the Americas. In the film, the company allows the scientists to become close with the natives and try to teach them Western culture, similar to the American government. During the 18th century, missionaries continually tried to teach the natives the English language and about Christianity. In the film, an agreement was broken between the Na'vi and the humans, which correlates to the actions of American colonists in the 1800s. The treatment of the prawns in District 9 symbolizes the treatment of minorities during the apartheid of South Africa, where the setting of the film is located. The minorities, in both the film and the apartheid, had to face laws that limited their rights and life in the slums, which contained problems such as gangsterism and drug abuse. The aliens in District 9 even had their own derogatory term, prawns, similar to coolies, a derogatory word for Indians during the apartheid in South Africa. Two historical contexts were similar because both cultures were not represented equally in both films. Both the Na'vi and the prawns had no voice in the conflicts that they were facing. Both films deal with the social context of minorities that have been discriminated against throughout history. In Avatar, Jake, the protagonist, becomes one of the Na'vi and learns about the beauty of Pandora. The Na'vi knew everything about their surroundings, such as the medicinal properties of the plants around them, similar to many tribes across the globe. Today, scientists are researching the medicine of similar native tribes, trying to find cures for diseases such as cancer. The portrait of the Na'vi's knowledge of medicine could have been James Cameron hinting to the audience to learn more about these types of cultures. In District 9, Wilkes becomes a companion of the small family of prawns, Christopher and Christopher's son, who is often referred to as the Little One. Wilkes, first hating the family, soon befriends them and helps them research their goal of leaving Earth. Wilkes realizes the prawns were similar to him and his family, who he was forced to leave because of the disease he contracted from the alien liquid. In both movies, the major culture learns from the minorities in a beneficial manner. Jake begins to enjoy life and become more than just a soldier, and Wilkes finds himself in the father prawn, Christopher, who only wants to help his son. How do directors depict the cultures of alien life in science fiction films, and how do they differ from human culture? Directors use the science fiction genre to predict how an alien species would interact with humans as well as within their own culture. The Na'vi of Avatar and the prawns of District 9 both have distinct characteristics that set the alien culture away from human culture, as well as aspects that relate the aliens to humans. The cultures of the alien races in both movies connect to the human concept of a family. In both alien cultures, the older aliens take care of their young and help them grow and mature into functioning adults, similarly to the development of humans. Along with this, both alien cultures have a functioning vocal language that humans can understand and learn. The Na'vi culture differs from the present culture of human beings because it is heavily based on the environment that surrounds the tribe. They treat nature with far more respect than humans do, due to their god supposedly being the connection between all nature, including the Na'vi, as one collective unit. James Cameron mentions in an interview that he created the Na'vi to show what the human race could have been if the human race respected nature as much as the Na'vi. He attempted to use the Na'vi as a tool to influence his audience and to begin to respect the wildlife that we have around us, or our human race will face serious repercussions. Furthermore, Cameron uses cinematography to inspire his audience to respect the culture of the Na'vi by displaying the forest animals and the Na'vi people of Pandora with bright colors, while the shots of the human headquarters are covered in shadow in the color gray. The culture of the prawns in District 9 is largely a mystery throughout the film, but can be inferred through the alien technology brought to Earth by the prawns. Advanced alien technology is evidence of the alien race's progress, and how the race's culture could largely be based on technology and have advanced far more than the Na'vi as well as humans. Although the technology-based culture is far more advanced than the technology we have today, it relates to our culture because it could be a glimpse into the future of the human race. Blomkamp uses gore and violence in the film to display his view on the human tendency of going to war with one another, visually scarring his audience, reminding them of the horrors that occurred during war, encouraging his viewers to end conflicts without using violence.